is 750. Oh. Oh. Probably can't see that, but it's soaking wet. Boom. And I think I trusted a fart out there that I shouldn't have. Time to eat this soup that I got before the game that I never had a chance to eat. Oh man. Chicken noodle from Jerry's. Tell me I have a spoon. Come on. This afternoon I had a podcast with Cedric Thompson, also known as Ced. He's a guy that I've known through social media for the last probably 2 years. Grew up in Los Angeles, Englewood. Went to the University of Minnesota to play football and then ended up playing in the NFL for some years. But I honestly think the football stuff is the least interesting thing about him, because when he made the decision to step away from the NFL for 6 years ago, it became an opportunity for him. At the time, he had 120,000 subscribers on YouTube. He was giving a different perspective on life as a football player, working through his, just like being transparent about it, really, more than anything, of what it looked like, the hardships that came with it, the unknowns, uncertainties, and incorporating faith into that as well. And so we had a podcast today, which I thought was some of the best. It's like the best conversation, most fruitful conversation. I crave that type of conversation because he's the type of guy who just gets it. He understands that running to me isn't this thing that's about like prizes and medals and outcomes. It's about the transformation, about who I am. He just made it so clear when he said that he's been watching me since Calendar Club, like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And he has seen me in Arrowhead. He's seen me in this Wausau Last Person Standing. And he said, it looks to him like I am discovering myself through running. And that is just like, oh, that is exactly what I'm using running for. Is this opportunity to discover who I am by putting that up against this set of beliefs that I have, and then putting them to the test. And it was really important for me to hear. After the podcast ended, we talked for another 45 minutes. And one thing he said to me, because I asked him this question of, how do you communicate to people that ask bad questions? Or, just like aren't thinking about it in the same way or at the level of depth that you are or I am. And he said one thing that used to frustrate him about me is that when I would just say, dude, it doesn't matter what shoes you wear. It doesn't, just go out and run. And to a certain degree, yes, that makes sense, but asking why they want to run to begin with is a great place to understand what type of relationship they want with running. And in that, in discovering what that looks like and discovering what that is, not only will I understand more of what they're asking, but they themselves will understand more about what type of relation. Maybe they haven't even thought of that. Maybe they don't even want to be a runner, but they want a vessel like I have a vessel to discover who they are through that. And that was helpful for me to just see how maybe asking more questions, even if people are asking me a specific question, trying to understand where they're coming from in that question is something I will definitely work on and do a better job of. Because those questions frustrate me so much, because it's like, it doesn't matter to me what shoes I wear. Why would it matter to me what shoes you wear if it doesn't even matter to me? And I don't really care that much about creating runners. I care about creating people that are unafraid to put themselves in situations that brush up against who they believe they are and who they actually are, by putting that to the test, by putting that out into action. So that was really helpful. Honestly, I feel like I've learned so much from him in the last 48 hours, well, 24 hours. I'm just doing a little bit more research on him, trying to get to know him a little bit more. I'm so impressed by him. He's an impressive man. And it has like just everything to do with how he carries himself, what he believes, and what he actually puts in his actions. Because I think you can believe a lot about yourself, but until you put it to the test, until you do the work, it's just what you think, it's just what you feel. Well, that was good. I'm actually glad I had that after instead of before. I got 2 more games tomorrow for this weekend. One at 8 a.m. and one at 10 a.m. Gotta make the dream happen somehow.